If you still struggle with writing high-performing VSLs or you've never written one in the first place, this video is for you because I am going to show you how to write killer VSLs that actually sell. And the way I'm going to do this is, first off, I will go over the VSL principles and continue with showing you the complete structure of the perfect VSL, so you can write them yourself without ever needing help ever again. So let's get right into the lesson on writing VSLs, guys. This one should be interesting. As I already said, first of all, we will talk about the VSL principles, because in order to really craft a magical VSL that is ultimately going to drive sales, you need to understand all of these guys. And after that, I will go over the perfect VSL structure, meaning like the best thing you can do in order to really drive sales in the long run, with like this whole video sales letter. So yeah, it's like depending on a niche, that's why it's like perfect, but I will go into this later this video. So yeah, starting with the first principle, guys. You already know it, the dream avatar. And I am going to explain this even further and more in depth to really drive this point home, what dream avatar actually means. So yeah, you need to understand your customer avatar clearly. Their pains, fears, dreams, beliefs, suspicions, everything, you know, because how are you going to sell something to them if you don't know what they think, where they are at right now, where they want to go? How are you going to create a program, a product around this problem if you don't even know the audience that has this problem, you know? So you need to know who to sell to in order to sell to someone, right? Makes sense. So understand your customer avatar, guys. And ultimately, you need to label them, meaning you give them a name, something like for aspiring copywriters or like for aspiring dropshippers, whatever. You need to label them. So yeah, and the avatar is completely unique for every single online creator or coach. So let's say we have like two fitness creators, you know, one being like a vegan diet kind of coach and the other one being like a carnivore diet, meaning like only meat. And both of them teach like this unique method to actually lose weight or something, you know, it's like their specific unique method. One is vegan, one is carnivore. Of course, it's like the same niche, but it's a completely different sub niche, and the copy is going to differ, you know, it's going to be completely different because you have to explain the other mechanism and you have to sell them on something else. And also, depending on the level of expertise of the creator, you are going to attract like a more skilled audience or like a less skilled audience. So if the creator is completely unique, you of course have a completely unique audience as well, and you can't just reuse copy. It's completely unique for every single creator, guys. That's what you need to understand, you know? And finally, you need to address this avatar in the VSL, meaning you talk about who this VSL or like who this program is for, so they actually understand, okay, yeah, this is for me. So yeah, second one will be the clear problem, the second principle. You need to know the specific problem this avatar suffers from, you know? And for the copywriting space, this can be something like, yeah, I'm struggling to get clients while doing outreach, you know? Or like failing to write really good copy because you don't know how to do it, you know? These are like two big problems in the whole copywriting space. But the key to nailing the big problem, guys, is to tell them about the problem they think they have. Not the one they really have, but the problem they think they have, you know? Because most people don't get clients because they are so bad at outreach and they don't know about the best outreach method. It's just that they are bad at copywriting, you know? They just don't understand what really works, you know? They don't actually master the skill of writing words and like building funnels and stuff, you know? But you don't tell them about that so they can really associate themselves with the program you are pitching to them, you know? You need to tell them about the problem they think they have. Very important, guys. So yeah. Now, to the third principle, guys, the unique mechanism, or like in other words, the unique solution you are going to pitch to them, you know? And this is where you tell them about your unique method, guys. The new opportunity kind of, you know? The thing that is actually getting them the results they want to see in their life. The solution to their problem, you know? And the key to nailing this is to explain to them what makes your unique method different from others and why it works when other things didn't work out for them. So basically, let's say we have like a copywriter, for example, like me, you know, let's take me for an example. And people don't see, copywriting doesn't work for them, you know, people don't want just words in a Google Doc or something. So they don't get clients and they don't make the outreach work. So what you need to do is you need to transform yourself into a copy growth partner who really builds funnels and sets up email automations, who essentially like is a big growth partner doing all the marketing and sales operations for your business owner. And this way you are actually going to make money, you know? So the unique method kind of is called the copy growth partner or something like that, you know? You explain to them why it works and why it's like different from the usual casual copywriting, you know? You explain like the new method kind of, you know? And this essentially is a justification, you know? You justify like the growth partner thingy or kind of a belief shift. You shift their beliefs into, the copywriting method sucks, you need to become something better, you know? You kind of belief shift them. So yeah, very important to understand. Now to principle number 4. The clear result, guys. This is the tangible thing they get when working with you, you know, like the end result they get. Something like, 3 to 5 clients or like 10K a month in the next 90 days. Or you will generate your first 5K to 15K online when you learn this, blah, blah, blah. This is just like the tangible result they get when working with you, you know? Make it easy to understand and simple. Make it tangible in the reader's or like in the avatar's mind. Very important to understand. Now to principle number 5, credibility and social proof. Credibility being simply where you show your own results, meaning you are credible to talk about the things you talk about, right? But the other thing, social proof, being you show the results you got for other people. So this is essentially just like testimonials. Show you did it for yourself and also show this worked for other people, you know? This is like the ultimate way to build trust with your audience, you know, always show your own results and show results you've got for other people, you know, this is principle number 5. And now to the last principle, urgency and scarcity, guys. You need to show them and to tell them why they need to act now. Yeah, you need to act now because copy growth partners are not going to exist for really long. That's something I just pulled out of my ass, so yeah. So these are all of the VSL principles, guys. And now we will go over the actual structure of a VSL. And yeah, of course, these can be like very unique depending on the niche, as I already said, like for the vegan creator and for like the carnivore creator, you know. But yeah, I try my best to simplify everything and over categorize it without making it too generic. So I try to keep the nuance kind of, but I also try to simplify it so you can kind of copy this framework for every single VSL you are going to write in the future. So yeah, you need to understand that for some niches you need to belief shift a little bit more, and for some other niches you need to explain the mechanism a little bit more, depending on like the awareness and expertise level of the audience of the creator, you know. So it completely depends on like the audience. So yeah, let's start, guys, with the first point in the VSL, the hook, or like what's in it for me, plus the introducing mechanism. So essentially, the first thing you are going to do in copywriting in general is you need to tell the people what this video will be about, what they are going to get if they watch this whole video, if they book a call for the coaching, you know, the what's in it for me. And also you can kind of do a hook if you introduce the mechanism, meaning let me give you an example for this on the next page. Welcome to the marketing coaching. It's like a vague name, or like marketing coaching, where I help you make your first 5K to 15K online. What's in it for me? By becoming a freelance brand scaler, not SMMA, freelance brand scaler, the new unique method. You are going to introduce it, you know? So that's like the whole introducing mechanism and kind of what's in it for me, the whole hook in the beginning of the VSL, you know? Second point will be how I found mechanism, because you essentially tell your own story. It's very good for like storytelling on how you discovered this like kind of mechanism, why SMMA didn't work for you, and why now you are a freelance brand scaler, you know? I don't even know what this means, but yeah, it's just like a unique mechanism, a unique name. Basically, you tell your story and you say to them, I found this by trying SMMA, but it was all so hard, like hiring all these people into my agency, but then I understood as a freelancer, everything worked out. You want to get them to the point where like kind of your brain is at right now. So you try to explain to them what this mechanism kind of is. So if that makes sense. So yeah, how I found mechanism. And after that, example for this, by the way, SMMA sucks because it's way too complicated and you need to learn so many skills. But I stumbled upon unique method like freelance brand scaling, where you need far less skills, blah, blah, blah. This is how I stumbled upon this, And then we get to point number 3, explaining the mechanism, guys, Essentially, you only run the ads and you know how to get the huge returns, and this is extremely simple because blah, blah, blah. You just explain the unique mechanism to them. So for the growth partner thingy, it would be something like, writing words doesn't work. You need to build whole funnels and you need to bring the copy to life and you need to set up email automations to really make money for your clients. You need to build ecosystems, blah, blah, blah. You explain the mechanism kind of, but you only talk about the what, because if you talk about the how, they are going to be able to go off on their own and they are going to, do it themselves, which is of course something you don't want, So and after you explained the mechanism, so let's summarize for a moment. We introduced like kind of the mechanism. We told them how we found out about this mechanism ourselves, and then we explained it to them, and now we will say to them, okay, now that you know what this is about, I have something for you. Of course, learning this can be kind of confusing, which is why I created this offer, blah, blah, blah. You introduce the offer in the VSL, I want to make sure you really learn everything that goes into mechanism from A to Z, which is why I created the offer name, like the freelance brand scaler mentorship or whatever, So you kind of just introduce the offer, the name of the offer for retention kind of, and kind of as the perfect solution. You kind of put it into the spotlight so people understand, oh, this might be very valuable for me. But let's keep watching the video to really understand what this offer will be about. You just introduce the offer for now. But what you say before that is you will go to stage number 5, which will be the big benefit. Now, you will say to them, so this is like the whole offer, and the big benefit you get from this offer and from what other people got from this is basically you will become you are going to drive supercars and live in Miami high-rises and make 30K a month and going to yard parties, Just explain something like that. You give them like the big benefit, kind of like a headline almost, The tangible result kind of benefit they get when working with you. So now 6th point will be testimonials. And by the way, this benefit is what these people got, These people, like Martin did. He signed into my program and now he's making 20K a month and he purchased his own car, blah, 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 Just testimonials is going to be the next thing you will talk about after introducing the offer, guys. After the big benefit, I mean. So now to the next point. Now we will actually explain the offer and the features, guys. You say something like, so if you ask yourself how Martin did it and stuff when he was in my offer, so basically inside of the offer, we have different features like the full freelance brand scaling course, 5 group calls a week. Of course, you are going to name a few more kind of features, but these are just like 2 examples you are going to talk about in this whole explaining offer section, So you just explain like the whole features that are going to like one-to-one mentorship calls, an onboarding call, a full course on mechanism, just explain the offer, Next up will be the belief shift, guys, if necessary. Sometimes they already understand, okay, I need to put in the work, this is necessary for me, I need to do this, but sometimes they aren't like really warmed up. It's like a very kind of top of funnel audience. They are still not really sold on like the whole making money online stuff or like purchasing a mentorship. So you need to nurture them a little bit further. So what you do is you tell them something, this is everything you need in order to make 10K a month. Are you really going to keep living the way you are right now? Or do you finally want to make a change? You kind of put a belief shift inside of that and you shift their belief on something like the mechanism maybe even, or like on making money online. You can decide that for yourself and what you think the audience needs to hear, so they are ready to really book a call or like buy the program. So yeah. Next point will be filter and qualification. So after that, after like the whole belief shift, we will tell them, guys, and yeah, of course, this is not for everybody, you know, it's only for serious people that are willing to lock in for the next 90 days at least, guys. It's only for very serious copywriters that are willing to change their life. It's almost like a filter, you know, you flush out all of the people that aren't serious about this, who don't have money and stuff, and you're going to keep the real ones in the video, you know? So like the lead quality kind of increases after the VSL. So yeah. Now to the last point, scarcity plus CTA, you know, and this is just where you say something like, yeah, only 5 spots available, go book a call down below with one of my team members, they will guide you through the whole process, hope to see you in there, book a call down below, it's like the CTA, blah, 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 you know, so this is the last stage of the whole VSL, guys. So to summarize things, first off, you give the what's in it for me, like the introducing mechanism. Then you show the people how you discovered it yourself and why it makes sense. Then you explain the whole mechanism, you know, how it works and stuff. And then you introduce the offer to them. You tell them about the big benefit, you know, what they really get when they work with you. Then they, the next point will be showing them testimonials. So like the people really live this big benefit. You proved like this big benefit is actually real. And yeah, then it's just about like after the testimonials, like explaining the offer and the features, doing like the scarcity and stuff, belief shifting maybe even once more. And yeah, that's everything you need to know in order to really write high performing VSLs, guys, you know. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want even more source on copywriting, outreach and stuff, feel free to check out my other videos, but also my free school. It's a free inner circle basically. There's a 2-hour outreach masterclass in there telling you exactly how to get your first client in the next 4 to 8 weeks if you are willing to put in the work and if you already have the service delivery side of things figured out. And yeah, there are only 153 people in there, so it's still pretty early. I will review your copy in there, review your looms in there, so you actually can close clients in the long run. So yeah, it's almost like a paid mentorship. You can ask me questions in there. Hope to see you inside. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.